All right, let's talk about a technology that completely changed the game for how we build and ship software. Docker. In just the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly why this is a skill you just can't afford to ignore anymore. Ah, yes, the six most infamous words in all of software development. You've been there, right? You spend hours, maybe days, getting a project to run perfectly, but the second anyone else on your team tries it, boom, it just completely falls apart. Of course it does. And this isn't just some small headache. It's a massive, soul-crushing drain on time, energy, and money. It was the universal problem that drove development teams crazy for years. That is, until a ridiculously elegant solution came along. Okay, so let's get into it. What is this magic solution? What is Docker really when you strip away all the technical jargon? Here's the core idea. Docker lets you bundle up everything your application needs to run into one neat, tidy, predictable package. We're talking your code, the libraries, the system tools, the settings, all of it. It's like a perfect self-contained little box for your software. And this is the analogy that makes it all click. Think about it. Before those standard metal shipping containers, loading a ship was total chaos. But once everything was put into the exact same kind of box, any crane, any truck, any ship in the world could handle it. Well, Docker does the exact same thing, but for code. Now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't this just like a virtual machine, a VM? And that's a fair question, but the answer is a big no. A VM is a total heavyweight. It has to pack an entire guest operating system inside it, which makes it huge and super slow to start up. Docker containers, on the other hand, are way smarter. They're incredibly lightweight because they cleverly shared the core part, the kernel, of the host computer's OS. And that's the magic trick. That's why they can spin up in seconds, not minutes. So we get what it is. It's a lightweight, standardized box for our code. But why did this idea completely revolutionize everything for developers and companies? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Let's take a look. The benefits here are just huge. First, consistency. That whole works on my machine nightmare? Gone. Poof. Solved. Second, speed. You can deploy applications ridiculously fast. You also get way better resource efficiency, which means you can run more stuff on the same server, saving money. And maybe most importantly, it's become the absolute foundation of modern DevOps. And believe me, this isn't some niche tool for a handful of tech enthusiasts. The adoption rate is just staggering. We're talking over 13 million developers around the world who now depend on Docker. It's not just popular, it's become the industry standard. Okay, now this is where you should really lean in, especially if you're thinking about your career. A nearly 1,000% increase in job ads that list Docker as a required skill. That isn't just growth, that is a flat-out explosion in demand. Companies are scrambling to find people who get this. And all of that demand, it shows up right in your paycheck. On average, tech pros who have container skills like Docker are earning a 28% salary premium. This is a skill that doesn't just open new doors, it pays the bills, and it pays them well. All right, so the proof is there. You're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold, but what's the plan? How do I actually get started? Is this going to be super difficult to learn? And here's the best part. Docker is way more beginner-friendly than you might think. You can honestly map out your learning in about a month. Week 1, just focus on the basic commands. Get comfortable. Week 2, you start building your own images with something called a Docker file. Think of it as a recipe for your container. By week 3, you're learning Docker Compose, which lets you run apps with multiple containers at once. And by week 4, you're ready to tackle real-world projects. See? Totally doable. And you don't need to spend a single penny to get started. There is a goldmine of amazing free resources out there. The official Play with Docker website is incredible. It gives you a live terminal in your browser to just mess around. And you've got fantastic YouTube channels like Tech World with Nana that make learning this stuff super clear and fun. So let's fast forward a bit. You've put in the work, you've learned the skill. What does the real payoff look like? What does mastering Docker actually do for your career? See, learning Docker doesn't just get you a raise in your current job, it literally unlocks entirely new, high-demand career paths. Roles like DevOps engineer, site reliability engineer, cloud solutions architect, they all have container skills right at their very core. And as you can see, these are some of the most rewarding and well-paid jobs in the entire tech industry today. And this is so important. This is not about chasing some fad that's going to be gone in a year.
Containerization is a fundamental shift in how we do things. It's the number 2 most sought after skill in all of IT. Learning Docker means you are setting yourself up for success, not just today, but for the next decade. You are literally future-proofing your career. So let's just boil it all down. What are the key takeaways? 1. It finally solves the works on my machine problem. 2. It's surprisingly beginner-friendly with tons of free resources. 3. It commands a premium salary. And 4. It is absolutely essential for anyone who's serious about a career in modern software development.
And that really just brings us to one last simple thought. The entire industry has shifted. We now live in a container-first world. That's not a prediction, it's a reality. So the only real question left is, can you afford to be left behind?